Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Emerging You channel. I am Angelica. I am an enrolled agent. But before we get started, I want you to go ahead and read over the disclaimer. All right, so today we are going to talk about the 2025 tax changes and what you need to know to set yourself up for success as these tax laws are changing. So let's go ahead and get started. What are taxes? Taxes are money that people pay to the government, and the government is supposed to be using these monies for schools, roads, hospitals, or anything else. Now, why should you care? Knowing the tax rules is what's going to help you save your money and avoid any surprises when you file your taxes. It can set you up for success if you know what you're doing and how to play by the tax laws. So let's go ahead and get started. What is the standard deduction amount? This is a chunk of money that everyone gets tax free before you have to pay taxes. Okay. So based on your filing status, you'll find the amounts. So single filing status is 14,600. Married filing jointly, $29,200. Head of household, $21,900. And if you are a qualifying widow, or what they used to call or surviving spouse, is 29,200. This chunk of money is how much you have to make or make over to be required to pay taxes. So if you make less than that, you're not required to pay taxes unless you are just wanting to file to claim whatever refund you got or to even claim credits. Now, some rates are going up in 2026. Right now, tax rates are low because of a 2017 law. In 2026, those laws might expire, causing your rates to increase. I say might because that it still has not changed yet. So the only thing you can do is plan ahead, save money, and make sure you are getting with a tax expert or tax preparer, CPA, an attorney, whoever you need to get with to make sure you set yourself up for success this tax season coming up. Now, here's a good one that a lot of people don't know. There is a new law that went into effect this year, actually. It's called a 1099K tax form. And this is a tax form that third party apps are supposed to be sending to the IRS and to their users. So if you use PayPal, Zelle, Venmo, Stripe, or anything like that, if you receive $2,500 or more using those apps, you're going to receive the 1099K. Now, this form not only tells them how much you received every month down to the total amount of what you received and how much you have to pay taxes on. Now, it is still there's still a very gray line on these forms, and the IRS is still trying to figure it out. So, the only thing you can do if you're using these apps is prepare yourself. Track all transactions going through these apps, whether or not it's for personal or business. Going forward, try to use Zelle. As of right now, Zelle does not count for the 1099K form because they are still counting that as a bank to bank transfer. So, when possible, try to avoid using these third party apps unless you are doing it for business. The IRS is trying to catch people who are basically doing side business, side hustles, and receiving income without claiming it on their taxes. Child tax credit. These are some of the possible changes. It hasn't went into effect yet, but it's still up in the air. So currently you get $2,000 per child, and up to 1,600 of it is refundable. Now, Congress is debating on whether or not to increase it. So I'm going to say there is something to definitely follow up on if you guys are looking to claim that child tax credit next year. Earned income tax credit, EITC. This is extra money for the lower income family or workers. So, what is the earned income tax credit? It is a tax credit for those who don't make a lot of money. Could get up to $7,830 in 2025 if you are eligible. Now, there are some criteria that you have to qualify for before you can even claim the credit. And I will let you know that even if you don't have a child, you could potentially still qualify for the credit. So get with a tax professional to see if you meet those qualifications. Retirement saving accounts. The amounts are going to increase. So this is a saving account for retirement. You could put money into your 401k or your IRA tax-free. The contribution limits for 2025 is going to increase. New contribution limits for 2025. For a 401k, it's up to 23,000 or 30,500 if you're over the age of 50. IRA, you can contribute up to 7,000 or 8,000 if you're over the age of 50. More savings now, more money for retirement, and less taxes today. All right, business owners, there's some new tax rules that you need to know too. And this goes with the third party apps in the 1099K tax form. If you make over 2,500 with these apps, you must report it. And if you're self employed, you might have to pay the self employment tax, which is about 15.3%. So here's a tip: keep good records so that you can avoid any surprises. Keep track of all your business income, keep track of everything that you are receiving through these third party apps. That way, if you are receiving anything personal, you don't have to pay taxes on it. You need to get with a tax professional to figure out how to avoid or how to separate those two. But it's always a good rule of thumb to keep your business and your personal account separated. Common tax mistakes to avoid: forgetting to report income from side jobs, side hustles from Cash App, Uber, Lyft, or anything else. You need to report all of your income. The IRS knows what was reported, what you received. So by not doing it, you are only flagging your account for underreported income. Not claiming deductions. There are a lot of deductions out there that people don't know they may qualify for, such as student loans, business expenses, and whatnot. And then filing too late. For this year, tax day is April 15th. If you file late, you are going to end up with fees and interest. And of course, before you submit your return or before you have a tax preparer submit your return, double check your info. You are liable for everything that is reported on that form. So that means you have the right to review your tax form, all the information on there, and ask questions before you file it. Now, what should you do? Check your tax withholdings. Make sure you are double checking your W 4 if you work a 9 to 5 job. Keep track of all of your income. And of course, track all of your expenses if you have a business. And if you feel unsure, if you have questions about taxes, be sure you are reaching out to a tax preparer before you are doing anything. And don't forget, last day to file taxes is April 15th. All right, you guys. So this wraps up the 2025 tax updates. Be sure you comment all your questions below, like, share, and subscribe for more financial and tax tips. Until next time.